righteous compassion, makes a point of petting the two cats equally, stroke for stroke. Judith claims she hates them both. It is her chore to feed them supper, and she hates the smell of horse meat. She loves, at least in the abstract, horses. Mr. Maple loves Mrs. Maple. He goes through troublesome periods, often on Saturday afternoons, of being unable to take his eyes from her, of being captive to the absurd persuasion that the curve of her solid haunch conceals and wraps a precarious treasure confided to his care. He cannot touch her enough. The sight of her body contorted by one of her yoga exercises, in her elastic black leotard riddled with runs, twists his heart so that he cannot breathe. Her gesture as she tips the dregs of white wine into a potted geranium seems infinite, like one of Vermeer's moments frozen in an eternal light from the left. At night, he tries to press her into himself, to secure her drowsy body against his breast like a clasp, as if without it he will come undone. He cannot sleep in this position, yet maintains it long after her breathing has become steady and oblivious. Can love be defined simply as the refusal to sleep? Also, he loves Penelope Vogel, a quaint little secretary at his office who is recovering from a disastrous affair with an Antiguan. And he is in love with the memories of 6 or so other females, beginning with a 7-year-old playmate who used to steal his hunter's cap, and is half in love with death. He as well seems to love, perhaps alone in the nation, President Johnson, who is unaware of his existence. Along the same lines, Richard adores the moon. He studies avidly all the photographs beamed back from its uncongenial surface. And Joan, whom does she love? Her psychiatrist, certainly. Her father, inevitably. Her yoga instructor, probably. She has a part-time job in a museum and returns home flushed and quick-tongued, as if from sex. She must love the children, for they flock to her like sparrows to suet. They fight bitterly for a piece of her lap and turn their backs upon their father, as if he, the seed-bearing provider of their lives, were a grotesque intruder, a chimney-sweep in a snow palace. None of his impersonations with the children, scoutmaster, playmate, confidant, financial bastion, factual wizard, watchman of the night, win them over. Bean still cries for Mommy when hurt. John approaches her for the money to finance yet more monster cards. Dickie demands that hers be the last good night. And even Judith, who should be his, kisses him timidly and saves her open-mouthed passion for her mother. Joan swims through their love like a fish through water, ignorant of any other element. Love slows her footsteps, pours upon her from the radio, hangs about her, in the kitchen, in the form of tacked-up children's drawings of houses, families, cars, cats, dogs, and flowers. Her husband cannot reach her. She is solid but hidden, like the World Bank, presiding yet impartial, like the federal judiciary. Some cold, uncoordinated thing pushes at his hand as it hangs impotent. It is Hecuba's nose. Obese, spade, golden-eyed bitch, like him she abhors exclusion and strains to add her warmth to the tumble, in love with them all, in love with the smell of food, in love with the smell of love. Penelope Vogel takes care to speak without sentimentality. 6 years younger than Richard, she has endured a decade of amorous ordeals and, still single at 29, preserves herself by speaking dryly in the flip phrases of a still younger generation. "We had a good thing," she says of her Antiguan, "that became a bad scene." She handles verbally her old affairs like dried flowers. Sitting across the restaurant table from her, Richard is made jittery by her delicacy, as if he and a grandmother are together examining an array of brittle, enigmatic mementos. "A very undesirable scene," Penelope adds. "The big time was too much for him. He got in with the drugs crowd. I couldn't see it." "He wanted to marry you?" Richard asks timidly. This much is office gossip. She shrugs, admitting, "There was that pitch." "You must miss him." "There is that. He was the most beautiful man I ever saw. His shoulders? In Dickinson's Bay, he'd have me put my hand on his shoulder in the water, and that way he'd pull me along for miles swimming. He was a snorkel instructor." "His name?" Jittery, fearful of jarring these reminiscences, which are also negotiations, he spills the last of his Gibson and jerkily signals to order another. "Hubert," Penelope says. She is patiently mopping with her napkin. "Like a girlfriend told me, never take on a male beauty. You'll have to fight for the